These aren't just stadiums, they're battlegrounds for promotion, passion, and pride. Serie B in 2025-26 is packed with historic venues, unique atmospheres, and clubs fighting for a shot at the top. From aging cathedrals to modern surprises, we're taking you on a full tour of every stadium in Italy's most unpredictable league. Let's start with the absolute behemoth of this division. Stadio San Nicola in Bari holds 58,270 people. Think about that for a second. This stadium was built for the 1990 World Cup, designed by the legendary architect Renzo Piano, and it's sitting in the second tier. The distinctive flower petal roof structure makes it one of the most recognizable stadiums in Italy. But watching a Serie B match here can feel surreal. You'll see entire stands completely empty, and the atmosphere gets lost in all that concrete. Bari fans are some of the most passionate in Italy, but even they can't fill this monster for second division football. It's a constant reminder of where this club wants to be versus where they actually are. Then we've got the recently relegated clubs who are bringing serious infrastructure to the second tier. Monza plays at Stadio Briantío, which holds 18,568, and it's a proper modern facility that was heavily renovated when Silvio Berlusconi took over. The artificial turf might be controversial, but the stadium itself is light years ahead of some places in this division. Monza's entire project screams ambition, and the stadium reflects that. Every corner is designed for efficiency and comfort, even if it lacks the soul of the older grounds. Venezia brings the Stadio Pierluigi Penzo, holding just 7,450. And this is where things get magical. Imagine watching football on an island in the Venetian lagoon. You literally take a boat to get there. The views across the water are stunning, and on a clear day with the sun setting, there's no more beautiful place to watch football anywhere in Europe. Sure, it's tiny and the facilities are outdated, but the romance of this place is unmatched. When it's full and the fans are singing, bouncing on those old wooden stands, it's pure electricity. This is what makes Serie B special. You won't find this kind of experience anywhere else. Stick around until the end to see which stadium has a capacity of just 2,000 people and how that's even possible in professional football. Empoli's Carlo Castellani holds 16,284, and it's going through an interesting phase. The club has been working on modernizing it bit by bit, but it still has that classic Italian feel with the track around the pitch and the different stand designs that don't quite match. It's functional rather than spectacular, but Empoli fans have incredible memories here, and after dropping back down, they'll be determined to make it a fortress again. Now, let's talk about Palermo and the Stadio Renzo Barbera, which holds 37,619. This is another massive venue in the second tier, and the passionate Sicilian support means it actually gets decent crowds. The Curva Nord and Curva Sud can be absolutely wild when they're full, creating an intimidating wall of noise. The stadium itself is a classic bowl design from the 1950s, renovated over the years, but it maintains that old-school Italian character. Walking up those steep stands gives you a sense of history. This is where legends have played. Palermo being in Serie B feels wrong on every level, and the stadium size is a constant reminder of that. Sampdoria shares the famous Stadio Luigi Ferraris with Genoa. Capacity 36,685. This is one of Italy's most atmospheric stadiums, period. The steep stands create an incredible noise, and even with Sampdoria in Serie B, the Genoa derbies would have been absolute chaos if both teams were in the same division. The Gradinata Nord for Sampdoria fans is legendary. When it's rocking, you can feel the entire stadium shake. Being relegated here hurts because this stadium deserves top-flight football every single week. Moving to some of the more modest but charming venues, Cessena's Stadio Dino Manuzzi holds 23,860. This is a proper community stadium where you feel connected to the action. The main stand is covered and provides excellent sightlines, while the curves behind the goals get packed with the hardcore supporters. There's something authentic about places like this. No corporate boxes dominating the view, just fans who've been coming here for generations. Reggiana plays at the Mappe Stadium in Reggio Emilia, capacity 23,717. This is actually Sassuolo's stadium, a genuinely modern facility with excellent facilities all around. The fact that Reggiana gets to play here while Sassuolo moved up to Serie A creates an interesting dynamic. It's one of the better maintained venues in the division, with comfortable seating and good views from everywhere. The stadium might lack character compared to some historic venues, but for a Serie B match, the quality is top-notch. Down in the south, Catanzaro's Stadio Nicola Ceravolo holds 14,650. Southern Italian football has its own unique flavor, and this stadium captures it perfectly. The atmosphere can be electric when the Giallorossi are playing well, with flares, banners, and constant singing. The facilities might be basic, but the passion makes up for everything. These are fans who've stuck with their team through multiple divisions, and their loyalty deserves respect. Spezia brings the Stadio Pico, holding 10,290. This intimate venue sits right in the heart of La Spezia, with the hills rising up behind one end. After their remarkable Serie A adventure, being back in B is tough, but this stadium has seen incredible nights. The closeness to the pitch means every tackle, every shout, every moment of brilliance happens right in front of you. There's no hiding for players here. You're performing in someone's living room, basically. Let's talk about some of the newly promoted or returned clubs. Padova is back after 6 years, and their Stadio Eugeneo holds 19,740. The track around the pitch creates distance from the action, which isn't ideal, but Padova fans don't care. They're just thrilled to be back competing at this level. The stadium can feel empty when crowds are small, but on big match days, it transforms into a proper cauldron. Pescara returned after 4 years away, bringing the Stadio Adriatico with its 20,515 capacity. Located right by the Adriatic coast, this stadium has charm. The sea breeze rolling in during evening matches creates a unique atmosphere you just don't get at inland venues. Pescara has a proud footballing tradition, and the fans here live and breathe their club. Avellino came back up after 7 years in the lower divisions, and they play at Stadio Partenio Adriano Lombardi, which holds 26,308. Another oversized stadium for the division, but Irpinia takes its football seriously. When Avellino is doing well, this place fills up and becomes one of the most hostile environments in Serie B. The club has been through financial disasters and near extinction, so just being here feels like a victory. Now for the real curiosities. FC Südtirol plays at Stadio Druso in Bolzano, way up in the mountains near the Austrian border, and it holds just 3,000 people. This is professional football at its most basic. The stadium is tiny, the stands are simple, but here's what makes it special. The setting is absolutely breathtaking. You're watching football surrounded by the Dolomites, and in winter, you can see snow-capped peaks in every direction. The club represents the German-speaking community in South Tyrol, and the atmosphere is completely different from typical Italian football. It feels more alpine, more reserved, but no less passionate. Playing here in November when it's freezing and the mountains are white, that's an experience visiting teams never forget. But we saved the most extreme for last. Virtus Entella, based in tiny Chiavari on the Ligurian coast, plays at Stadio Comunale, which holds exactly 2,000 people. 2,000. Think about that. You could fit this entire stadium inside Bari's venue 29 times. This isn't even a proper stadium by most standards. It's basically a local sports ground that somehow hosts professional football. There are no frills here, no modern amenities, just basic stands and a pitch. Yet Virtus Entella fought their way up through the playoffs after 4 years away, and they're competing against clubs with stadiums literally 30 times bigger. The inequality is staggering, but that's the beauty and brutality of Serie B. Every away trip here is like visiting a different universe for the big clubs. Mantova plays at Stadio Danilo Martelli, holding 14,854, and it's another classic provincial Italian stadium. The single-tier stands wrap around the pitch, creating decent acoustics when the crowd gets going. Mantova has bounced between divisions for years, and the stadium reflects that instability. Bits have been upgraded. Bits remain from decades ago, creating this patchwork appearance that somehow works. Modena brings Alberto Braglia, capacity 21,151. This is old-school Italian football architecture. Steep stands close to the pitch, especially behind the goals where the ultras create their choreographies. Modena has massive history, including Serie A seasons, and the fans remember those glory days. The stadium has aged, but it still generates incredible noise when packed. Walking through the concourses here feels like stepping back in time to when Italian football was grittier and more raw. Frosinone's Stadio Benito Stirpe holds 16,227, and it's one of the more recently renovated facilities in the division. The club invested heavily in upgrades, and it shows. The seating is comfortable, sightlines are excellent, and the facilities actually work properly, which isn't something you can say about every Serie B stadium. After their Serie A disappointment, Frosinone is determined to bounce back, and having a quality home venue gives them an edge. Juve Stabia represents the Castellammare di Stabia area near Naples, and their Stadio Romeo Menti holds 12,800. The stadium sits in Campania, where football is religion, and the fans are absolutely mental in the best possible way. The passion here rivals clubs 3 divisions higher. The stands might be basic, but the noise level is professional grade. When Stabia scores, the eruption is seismic. If you made it to the end of the video, share your thoughts on these incredible stadiums in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, click here to explore the Serie A stadiums of 2025/2026. See you there in a second.